think we live. There we
And
go.
we love. How's
Beautiful.
it?
How's it? Yo,
First off, to start, before we even jump into it, two things. One, to all 10 to 15 of our followers, sorry we didn't get anything in last week. And two, a special mention to Pyps. Sorry for going off in that Wales Argentina game. Couldn't keep up with the heat there. Maybe too many brandy and cokes with the legends. But if you do somehow watch this, get well soon.
beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, look, I see old Warren Gatlin said that swung the game in Argentina's favor with old Pyps going off. I mean, that's quite a big shout. But I mean, if you're preparing for one ref and you get a different ref, it does disrupt you, definitely. But they were ahead with, what, 10 points or something, and they still managed to lose by 12. So,
yeah. The Welsh team ran out of puff. So I think we're going to wrap up with the crescendo that was the SA versus France game. But can we please just appreciate the quarterfinals we were given? From the outset, I thought we couldn't have been blessed with 4 better games in terms of quality versus quality.
I'll be very honest. The first 70 minutes of the Wales-Argentina game was pretty messy. It was pretty messy. There were so many mistakes. And then the old heads prevailed, old Nicolas Sanchez and Augustine Creevy. The legends, just coming on and doing their thing.
It was good to see. But look, I agree. There was probably 2 tiers of quarterfinals over the weekend in terms of quality and rugby played. But like in terms of close games and like for like, we couldn't have asked for better. I mean, going into this weekend, I think I know my rugby, but I got 3 out of the 4 predictions for the quarterfinals wrong, and the most important one I got right. But yeah, it was. I watched every minute of every game.
It was going very well for me up until the 70th minute of the Argentina game. Yeah, would have had 4 out of 4 there, but got that one wrong. I'll take that one on the chin. I told you 2 weeks ago. Write New Zealand off at your own peril.
Yeah, you did. And actually a few people did.
They pitched up, finally.
Yeah.
Have they just been keeping their eggs fresh, not giving away too much just for the quarters? Maybe. They looked very good. They looked very, very good. It was a very good performance. And I mean, that was a game and a half. Jeez.
It was. Look, New Zealand with Shannon Frizzell in the team, I think is a different beast. In terms of physicality, he just ups that level. I know they've got Sevilla and I mean, I'm not taking anything away from their other forwards, but I think Frizzell does bring that element that they've lacked without him. So it's good to see him back in the mix and firing.
I'll be very honest. The guy that I think galvanizes that team is, well, Sevilla is one of them, but Brody Retallick. To see him back in the second row, their tight 5 was a different animal.
Yeah, I agree.
The young props are also the Groot's back after his suspension. He looked good.
Yeah,
Lomax looked fine. That tight 5 wasn't as useless as people said they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they were grafting, and old Samuel Whitelock coming onto the field. 151 caps. How about you make the last steal?
Yeah,
why not win the penalty? Jeez,
he was class. But if you look at it, there was that template, or not template, there was that stat sheet circulating last week, and I know we had a look at it with regards to minutes played. And I even made the comment saying that these are conditioned athletes. They're the best of the best. I don't think 50 to 100 minutes over the course of a month is going to make a difference, but it looked like it did. It looked like they just ran out of puff there at the end. The Irish, the pressure of the last 20 minutes being behind got to them.
Look, it's a saying that been there, done that, and that was the way that the All Blacks played it the last 20 minutes. You
Yeah,
could see they were in control and they knew what they were doing. Very much similar to what the Springboks did against France as well, I think. There was a lot of hype on Ireland, and deservedly so. I mean, they've been
yeah,
playing phenomenal. But you just felt that the All Blacks had that one massive performance in them to show the world that they aren't really gone.
yeah,
I mean, now all of a sudden, they're going in as hot favorites against Argentina.
yeah.
Um, phew. And I mean, yeah, you have to take your hats off to them. They wanted it more. Somehow
I,
they just wanted it more. I feel the loose
I
trio
agree.
of Ireland did not pitch up. Unfortunately, it's some of their most experienced and key players, and on the day, it just felt like the New Zealand loose trio pitched up. I mean, Sam Cane, Surveyor, and Frizzell were phenomenal, where Van der Fleer, Doris, and Omani they were not on that field. It just didn't look like it.
They were definitely behind the 8 ball, as they say.
So, yeah, I mean, you have to, in knockout rugby, you have to be performing close to your 100%. You can't have one or two guys not firing. You're always going to struggle if that's the case. But I mean, it was still one hell of a game. I mean, up until that
Immense.
point, I was pretty sure that was probably the best game I've ever watched
I can agree with
until the
that.
next night.
I can agree with that. So yeah, Ireland still searching for that semi, and that Sean Klein meme that's done the rounds saying he's the first Irish
Fire.
Irish player to make a semi.
Absolute fire.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so funny, and it's just it's just classic. It's just classic of the SA meme gang to come up with
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, the SA meme gang were on fire, you're right. Yeah, that's
So
the England side. Now I'm just bringing that up here so we can discuss it. But yeah,
okay.
what else can we say about the quarterfinals? Look, England did well to almost lose that game. It looked like at one stage they just pulled the pin there and said we've done enough. But
Yeah.
Owen Farrell
Look,
just pulled it together.
Look, kudos to Fiji for mounting the comeback.
Absolutely.
They, if they can just switch on for 80 minutes, they would be such a destructive side.
And I don't think they're far away from doing that. I mean, but it's the Fijian people. Like, do they want mass investment into their rugby? What's their grassroots looking like? I think the Fijian game will never reach the standard we think that it'll reach because of the way they get brought up playing rugby.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The sevens is bloody good as well. I mean,
The hits in the Fiji England game. Holy smokes! That
no, it
hit
was
on
massive.
Courtney Laws, fuck, the guy is still feeling it, I'm sure. That was a big hit.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we'll see what happens after the World Cup and things like that. But they got to a quarterfinal. They could have been in the semi-final. Lost to Portugal. It was an absolute mixed bag from Fiji. I mean, beat Australia, but I mean they lost to Portugal. So I mean, on merit, you'd have to say England deserving victors at the end for remaining unbeaten.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was it was a mixed bag game. It was a mixed bag.
But
It was entertaining though. It was a very entertaining last 20 minutes.
Yeah, Fiji overall, I think 2023 will still probably go down as, if not the best, up there with probably their top 2 calendar years of rugby. They're registering a win over the UK, I mean over the English and Oz.
Oh no, 100%. No, definitely. Look, I mean, Australia is pure garbage at the moment though, but I mean, it's still got to beat it.
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's go into our final 2 points here. SA versus France, and then a quick look at the semis. But SA versus France, I don't think my two opening statements. I don't think I've seen an opening 10, 15 minutes of such intensity, and as an overall 80 minutes. I think you're going to have to go very, very far and deep to find an 80 minutes of that standard. I mean, my colleagues have come up to me the whole week and they're like, I can't believe what I watched on Sunday night. Mareka couldn't even sit down for the last 20 minutes. She was literally just running around.
Oh, it makes two of us. The whole second half, I was pacing around and couldn't sit down. I mean, that first 40 minutes was the most enthralling, entertaining. I don't even know how to describe it. I still don't know. It was phenomenal. Look, what Sean Edwards, the defense coach, said is where we sucker punched them was with the up and unders. They were expecting it, but it's the classic old saying: can you deal with it? And on the night, there were 2 crucial box kicks that resulted in 2 tries. I mean, that's a very good strike rate. And it was intentional. It was exactly what we were trying to do, and we disrupted them enough in the air that, that we were able to counter and get away with, 14 points from that.
Yeah. The fact that the game was decided on an anomaly of a kick charge down is just, to me, that is probably the fairest representation of that game. No team deserved to lose, but if a team had to win, it was by an outlier and something rare.
I think the biggest factor was just pure determination.
You could see
at the end of the day, the pure determination not to go out was just a little bit more on the Boks side.
Yeah.
I mean, even the last one where Faf ripped the ball out, you could see he was waiting for that opportunity, and they stayed disciplined enough not to give away a penalty, bided their time, and when the opportunity rose, determination, I will rip this ball out, we will kick it out, we will win. It was an absolute famous victory. That will go down in the last 4-year cycle, hands down, as the biggest win we've got.
Yeah.
Maybe the British and Irish Lions game, the last game, was also massive. But I mean, with a World Cup taking on the hosts and not one team giving an inch, I mean, it was so good. It was so good. I couldn't fall asleep afterwards. My adrenaline was way too high.
Yeah, we were pumping. The one thing, it's a pity we're just doing like a bit of a brief chat this week, because there's a few things we could deep dive into, like a lot of like I said, the English countrymen in my office, they question why wasn't Earman given a red there when Curry was given a red in the first game. I said, look, he's 2 meters tall. He's dipping down. The mitigation factor was there. So I was happy. I thought it was a yellow. Then I've seen a lot on the Kwagga Smith. What's it? That steal he did. The French are crying that he had hands on the ground, but I watched a good piece on Nigel Owens today explaining
Well, whistle
the move.
watchers, yeah, also
Yeah,
whistle watch. I watched the same thing. Yeah, very
yeah.
good.
And I think that he explains it really well. And kudos to Ben O'Keefe. I mean, I know we've come out on the other side of things, but look, if we went down there, we couldn't be blaming the ref. The balls of steel he showed on that Eben Etzebeth like hand of God that he did there. Because if you look at
Jeez,
it from a TV point of view, you can argue that it's gone forward, but because he was perfectly situated in the middle of the two teams and in that like middle passage where the
yeah,
players
he was in the firing line, in
he
line
could
with the
see,
ball.
yeah, he could see that came backwards. And what a piece of skill from Evan.
Look, if he got that wrong, he was gone.
Yeah, penalty
He was
try.
in the bin. He was definitely in the bin for 10 minutes. That would have been a penalty try. We would have been in
But he
some
would have been
deep
red.
shit.
Evan would have had a red card after that. So it would have
Mm,
been a second
yeah,
yellow.
well, then I don't think, I mean, you'd never know what happens after 10 minutes. Also saw the good meme of all the guy saying the French made their biggest mistake by getting him sent off for 10 minutes because he just gave him 10 minutes to rest.
Exactly. And another thing that is also just how did how did we manage to get a rotational substitute down? Did you notice that? Because Peter Steph
No,
went
so
off.
look,
I don't understand that because
Peter
technically
Peter
Dwayne,
Steph looked like he did not know where in the world he was at a stage. We were all
yeah,
looking at it and like, why is this oak running so slow? Like, what's going on? Where you
yeah,
could clearly see that oak had a massive knock somewhere, and he did not know where the hell he was. Luckily, luckily it was just a blow that just took him a few minutes to recover from. But I mean, yeah. So look, with the HIAs, I've also heard a lot of those complaining about this. But I mean, any HIA needs to be cleared by the whole ref, the all of the refs and the match officials and things like that.
yeah,
Um, so you can't just make an HIA. Everyone has to agree that the oak can go off for an HIA. So I mean, if you get a head knock, and it sounds like there were a few instances like the Peter Steph du Toit one where it was a head knock from Damien Penaud. You never saw that replay, you
true,
know?
true.
I mean, so don't get your bread buttered on both sides. I mean, it is what it is. If you have an HIA, if they make player
But
safety such a big thing, I
Dwayne
mean,
came on
then
for it though. And then Bongi went off for an HIA, and Peter Steph came on for Bongi, but Dwayne had already gone off.
yeah,
And then Dwayne played the
yeah,
rest of the game.
but with an HIA you can do that. Because
Is that so?
it's a concussion substitution. It's like in cricket where you can also substitute the guy if he
That
gets
was
a head
um
knock.
that was a masterful. I think that actually played into our hands because it gave Peter Steph 5-10 minutes to get fresh. It gave Dwayne went off, freshened up, came back. Eben also 10 minutes. Yeah, that's why Mostert got subbed because
Look,
I think that was largely due to the reason.
yeah, look. I mean, the thing is, Peter Steph might have failed that HIA. Then we would have been in trouble.
Yeah,
If he couldn't come back, we would have been in trouble. Then we would have had to do the switch up and have Mostert or Kulisi back. But I don't know. Sia was he was off after what 44 minutes.
yeah,
Emptying the
very,
tank,
very
and
close.
then
45, 44. Yeah,
so I mean the guys they 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 prepare for all situations, and that's the thing. You have to be on your feet and make quick decisions and see the game for what it is. And I mean, yeah, I think look, it was phenomenal to see that that fight in the Oaks. I mean, it was brutal out there. I mean, there were so
brutal.
many knocks. You could look at some of the Oaks after the game and you're like, that must have hurt.
A little
I
bit
mean,
on
that
that
was
note.
bruising.
On that note, can we pay homage to old Jesse Creel? I'll put my hand
what a
up.
game.
I will put my hand up now and say I was a doubter, but Jesse Creel, my man.
We have for a long time on this chat said that you always know what you're getting from him. He's got some of that X factor back. He's got some of that X factor back. And you can
That's the
see,
point I agree with, and I echo.
I feel with not getting the opportunities and he got an extended run again, I think that did his confidence the world of good. And he's benefited greatly from that. And he has shown that there is still something there, you know. His defense has never been in question.
Yeah.
But these small things that he's not, I won't say he's added it to his attack. I think it's always been there. He just hasn't always pulled the trigger. And I feel since Marnie's also started, the whole backline has freed up slightly more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more freedom, it feels like, especially on counter attack where they read the play and they make the calls. There's no set moves or anything like that. They see it for what it is and they play what they know will work.
The point you're making about Jesse Creel is I feel we've gone back to Jesse Creel of like 2014, 2015, like when he really burst onto the scene, and I rated him. I think he paired up with Jan
100%.
Serfontein at a stage, and I thought he was red hot. But then he did go off the boil. But no, he's come back now and he's put in some strong performances. So
Very
well
strong.
done. And my last point on the game before we go too deep is Pollard stepping up in front of a packed house, probably shouting all sorts of slurs at him, and he just steps up and bangs a 50-meter. Like the fact we've got that coming off the bench, and I thought he was very solid. Just it warms my heart.
I had a very long chat with my buddy on Friday about it. Friday or Saturday, I can't remember. Probably Saturday, sorry, yeah. And we were discussing the bench and the things, and that was the main thing, is you bring on the experienced Oaks for the last 20, 30 minutes to do what they do best, and they did. That's exactly what they did. The BMT it takes to make that kick. But I mean, I looked at a interview with Pollard and Kanan Moody just before we started this. The way that Oak just chats in the media, you can see his professionalism, and he knows
he is elite.
You can see he's made for this environment. He's made for this environment. I mean,
agree.
He is so smooth with the way he deals with the media and
he's
the
got
way
that
he answers questions.
He's got like a Max Verstappen aura. Like it's just it's like a shoe. Like he's there, puts it on. It's what he does. I found that.
I mean that, and he says with the kick as well. He says he wasn't stressed or anything. He just trusts his processes, and that's it. I mean, that's what you want to hear in the big moments. Can you go back to the basics?
Yeah.
And just trust what you've been doing your whole life. And that's exactly what the Oak does, and that's why in the big pressure moments he's able to do what he does.
Yeah,
I mean, but also kudos to Marnie Libbok for playing an absolute blinder as well. I mean, geez, like making all the difficult kicks and missing the easy one. But I mean, he looked very assured.
Yeah, when did we ever think we'd be sitting in a position, where we're deciding which fly half is better because they're both good? As a South African, I mean, I can't recall this ever being a topic for debate. It's which fly half is better because we don't have a fly half that's world class. But now I think we've got two.
Look, I think the last time probably was a young Johan Goosen and Mornay Steyn fighting it out for that jersey. It was it was also different.
At that stage, I mean, Mornay Steyn, take nothing away from him. I think his career is world class, but in terms of a fly half on any given day, Mornay Steyn never really set the world alight.
Yeah. Just sometimes.
Yeah.
New Zealand come to mind there.
Give him a pressure kick against the British and Irish Lions, and then he sets the world alight. But
jeez. The more things stay, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, I think let's tie a bow in that now, because I'm just checking the time, and I do want to have a little deep dive into the game we've got. Actually, a quick look at maybe both games. So
okay, just one last thing.
Go for it.
We have to take our hats off to Eben being an absolute beast. I mean, that oak.
He is.
He will, in all probability, go down as probably the best Springbok player if they are able to go all the way. I think that's a very fair shout. But we'll see.
I think there's a fair shot as well.
The way that oak plays is just, I mean, you can see he's been looking after his body in the group stages and things, and he was preparing himself for the physicality of the quarter. I mean, he played out of his boots.
Yeah.
Phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal.
To me, in the group stages, he gets like he's one of those guys like Dale Steyn that you just get like that look in his eye, and he got the look he had it against Ireland, and he had it against France, and you could see it. Like he was just like so in the zone.
But with France, it was on a different level. You could see the physicality step up going, just that extra few steps.
Yeah. I can see him being the best South African we've ever produced, because you've got to also call a spade a spade. I mean, lock is one of the most, if not the most demanding position to play. I mean, I've experienced it. Prop, kudos, you do that, but lock, you've got to be mobile, you've got to be able to jump, you've got to be able to, he's added hands to his game, he's got the physical aspect, he's also got the fourth sight. I mean, that hand he put in, it's just, so I would say that if he adds another
Rugby 20 IQ.
If he adds another 25 caps to his game, maybe plays 2 years after this World Cup, and we get this World Cup, I would say he's the best, if not top 2.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to bring that in. I just felt he deserved a shout out there.
Good point. Yeah.
Definitely deserved the shout out.
If you see this, you're welcome to come onto our show and discuss how you feel.
Oh. Fancy.
Okay, so semi-final 1 tomorrow night, 8 p.m. kickoff. I cannot wait.
You mean a 9 o'clock kickoff for the normal South African people? It's only you UK people that are at 8 o'clock. Weird, man.
Sorry, 9 o'clock. That's quite late for you guys, but part of me says Argentina. What if? I just want to see their fans doing this.
Can you see Augustine Creevy doing this, throwing in? Ew. Look.
I don't know how. The question is the same thing.
How much did that quarterfinal take out of New Zealand? I don't know. How do you get yourself back motivated? It's a semi-final. You get yourself motivated to go again. I mean, but Argentina have shown glimpses in the last 2 years of what they can do on any given day.
Yeah.
I just feel without Pablo Matera, they're going to struggle a bit. He's inspirational for them. And I'm really surprised they didn't make the switch to start Nicolas Sanchez.
That's what I think he might get the 10 jersey tomorrow, or I don't know I haven't seen the team.
No, he didn't. He didn't. They have announced the team. He didn't get it. He's on the bench again. Maybe Carreras proves me wrong, but
he was pretty
Sanchez
good.
Sanchez for me is just on a different. He's on a different plane.
He's my favorite Argentinian player ever, and then Creevy's my next favorite. I think the two, and then I like Lavezzi. I think it is the lock, the big lock with the scrum cap.
Lavanini, the yellow card machine.
Yeah, he reminds me of like
Schmark's a yellow card.
He's Evan Etzebeth light. Because Evan wouldn't be caught dead in a scrum cap as well, so that's why he's Evan light.
No, so, never.
What are we saying here? I think unless I mean, New Zealand aren't known for reckless challenges or stupid cards, but unless New Zealand get a card that offsets their game, I don't see Argentina doing the business. I see a 15-point win to New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, on any given day, Argentina, if they rock up, they can cause some trouble. I just feel that New Zealand have that sniff back. They got that swagger a bit.
Yeah.
They know what they have to do, and there's more than enough experience in that team to ensure that they don't get ahead of themselves and
I
they still
agree.
do the business. I know everyone has been ripping Foster hard, myself included, but maybe there was a plan all along. I mean, could have been a masterstroke somehow.
Yeah.
But if everything goes according to what it's supposed to, they should be in the final.
Yeah.
I'm also backing them by about, I think, 12-ish points. I just see them being very composed, and I just see Richie Mo'unga banging over a few penalties there to settle the nerves, get the
Yeah.
scoreboard pressure going,
Agreed. Agreed.
and then we'll see if
Get
the
six. Get
Argentinian
six in
discipline.
front.
Yeah.
Get six in front, and then the machine starts rumbling. Yeah, I agree. So again, time constraints here. Let's tie a bow in that one, and
Sure.
yeah, all the best to the two nations playing tomorrow, locking horns. Nice to see the Southern Hemisphere teams representing. Australia, enjoy watching it at home. And
Not
then
here for the
on
croissants, mate.
and then on to the big game. Before I do this, can I just give credit where it's due to one of our colleagues in the punditry game, Hanyani Shimangi. Absolutely world-class hosting Box Office, and the guests he's been able to pull on as well. I've enjoyed every episode they've put together, and I hope South Africa's in it for the final, and hopefully we win it and they can do a wrap up. But credit there. Now on to the big game. So I'll just quickly, for those of you that have stayed long enough, whoops, don't want to show my work.
No, that would not be smart.
So yeah, it's the SA team going with Cobus Reinach to start again. Not upset about that. Unchanged, unchanged squad.
So this is
Yeah,
now the most experienced front forward pack to ever start a Springbok game. It was last week. Now this week it is also the new most experienced forward pack to ever start a Springbok Test match.
I love being a sports fan and looking at a team and just seeing experience. It's like it takes me back to Australian cricket in the heyday where it was just like 1 to 11 had all played 50 to 100 caps, and they just literally they just decided where they're going on holiday, and they'll win their cricket matches along the way. And then you turn that on to like SA cricket in like the late 2010s, early 20 teens. Also, same thing. And yeah, we've got a rugby side, just phenomenal talent, right from 1 to 23, World Cup winners, people that know how to do the job, and the hunger is definitely there. No one can tell me these are world-class players, and they work their arse off, and they want to do the back-to-back. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. They want to be the first to 4 titles. Definitely.
First to 4 titles, and second to do the back-to-back.
Yeah, exactly. That is the goal. And I mean, that team is, look, as we say, yeah, it's very experienced, but it's also Oaks that are on form.
Yeah.
It's not that they haven't been on form. They aren't selected just because of experience.
Yeah.
It's because they are pretty much the best in their position. But in saying that, our bench is also wonderful. The guys that come on bring so much energy onto the field. I
At
mean,
the right
Kwagga and
time.
Faf.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oxenchair, Dion Fourie, Erge Snyman. Pollard just brings a cool head. Willie also, except when he drops the ball the first time he touches it, gives us a little mini heart attack, but then at least switches back on. Yeah, I mean, that back line has got so much X factor, it's a joke.
Let's revert back, because I've literally got like 8 minutes and then I've got a duck. But let's revert back to the SA team, because I'm going to ask a question of you now, and it goes both ways. So this is the England team.
Yep.
I mean, they've gone as strong as they can. The fact that they're starting Ben Earl at 8, he had a great, I think he played really well in the quarters. I don't think that pack is going to give us nightmares, and I really look forward to us taking them on. Yeah, I think
I'm going to say this much. First scrum, Kitshoff versus Cole is going to be massive. If Kitshoff can break him early,
yeah,
it'll be a good sign. It'll be a sign of what's to come then.
Yeah, there's Dan Cole, because I mean, we've got the 2019 World Cup final playbook on how to dismantle this England team. Look, they're 4 years older, and they've got redemption that
on their minds, 100%.
On their mind.
Look, you can't write these oaks off. You cannot do that.
You can't.
What did they do in the last World Cup? They produced their best game in the semi-finals against the All Blacks, knocking them out.
Yeah.
We know that they have that performance in them. Can we pitch up physically and mentally in the right space? I think yes to both those questions, though.
Yes.
I think it's not a bad England team. I don't really know Alex Mitchell, I'll be honest. And for them, they've also gone back to some experienced heads on the wings with Johnny May and Elliot Daly. I mean, earlier on, there were guys, I don't even know who they were, I'll be honest. I think at Orendal, he's a fast lighty, but they've gone back to the experience, and that's knockout rugby.
My question then is, how do you see England beating us? Like, I can see a way, I can actually see more ways than one for SA to beat England. My question is, if we had to put our hypothetical England supporter cap on here and say, there's the South African lineup, this is the guys that are going to go to war, how do we beat them? Because if we go aerial, Freddie Stewart is a master in the air. If we go the aerial route and we get...
No, he wasn't that good in the air last year in Twickenham, to be honest. I think we found him out a bit there.
He gets plaudits. He gets maybe undue, but they rate him. So if they go the aerial route, China, we've got 3 at the back who are phenomenal in the air. That I don't see them.
You know what the thing is? You know what the thing is if you look at our wings, they're not the biggest O's, but my gosh, are they wonderful in the air. The skill levels in the air is something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got 2 Oaks from the Boland there, or the Kaap, and they put on their scrum caps and they just put on their jet shoes and they do what they do best. Oh, damn. The X factor that those 2 have brought with Damian Willemse, that's why counter-attack is so deadly nowadays. I mean, just get the ball to them and something will happen.
Yeah.
Something will happen.
Yeah, I've tried to be as neutral as possible this week. I haven't been loud in the office. I don't want to be unfair and dismissive against England, but sitting here as a rugby fan, I'm trying to work out how England. My only thing that could win England the game is if we lose a player through a reckless challenge. And
But
if
that's the thing. I can see.
If that were to happen, that might have an impact on the game. But even with 14 men, I think we've got a plan B that we could probably still beat them. It's not me being
Definitely they would.
Yeah.
They would have prepared for all situations. We've seen with this management team, they prepare for all situations. Look, it's difficult to, like you say, see a way of them getting one over. If we've got bad discipline, maybe Farrell's boot can do the difference, and they've got Daly who can strike them from some way out.
Yeah.
But I just feel that the momentum is on our side. If we can just stick to what we do and believe that we have their number, I think we will. Look, I think we will win. You have to believe that we can, and we will. I think it's going to be a semi-final. I think it's going to be tight. But I just think we've got too much firepower, and I think we're probably going to sneak by with hopefully 12.
I think it's going to be within 5 or more than 18, 20. It's not going to be one of those intermediate wins. It's going to be our quality shines through. They don't have an answer for us. We win by 2 converted tries and a penalty, or 2 penalties, and we go out in front, or they're going to come to play. We're going to not quite be there, but we're going to have enough to get over the line, and we win within 5. That's my 2 options. I don't see it being tight and then we get a breakaway try. I think it's going to go tight right down to the 80th, or they're going to fold just after half time.
I like it. Yeah, I'm still sticking with my 12. I don't know how the game's going to go. I'm not sure if we'll play the same type of game we played against France. I don't think so. I think we would be a bit more structured, and I think England will give us the opportunities. What the French did is they didn't allow scrums or lineouts really in our favor. I don't know if England will try that because it's not their game. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Boks by 12. Let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys. I think we've checked all the angles.
No, we probably haven't, but we've checked enough.
We've checked a sufficient amount of angles.
There we go. Angles have been checked from angles and other areas. Shot my brew. That was good. Enjoy and good luck. And guys, get out there on Saturday. Support the boys. Let's have a lovely weekend.
Agreed. Ciao.